What is up, my friends? We
What's
got
up?
a we got a special episode of Draft Talk today. This is the first one where the individual is actually in the video with me. I'm super excited about it. I'm here with my man LaRon Bennett. How are you doing?
Oh, it's a good day. Excited to be here.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you doing this and taking the time because everybody coming out of COVID, everybody's trying to get some stuff straightened out. So I know you're busy like everybody else.
Oh yeah, ready to get out. My two little kids, they driving me crazy. So shout out to all the stay-at-home moms and all the in-home house daycare. Power to you. I'm gonna talk to somebody to get everybody raises for sure.
Definitely, yeah. I don't have any kids, but I definitely respect the people that
Yeah.
have been working from home or just working from home and dealing with the kids, trying to go to work and get the kids. I agree with you. I think that's a good way to put it.
For sure. We made it though. We made it.
Yep, we came through on the on. It took a little bit, but we came through.
Right, right.
So I prepped you on the questions. Give you some time to get the wheels turning. At any point in your career as in track and field and all that, at the hurdles, have you ever signed or autographed anything weird for a fan or for somebody?
Um, I've seen a lot of weird signatures being overseas running as a professional athlete, but my for me myself, not really. It was just more of like the head, ball head, or arm, or something like that, or a shoe. But I always wonder, signing on the skin. I was like, so even if it's permanent marker, are you gonna cut off that piece of your skin or something, or that autograph is gonna be gone if you take a bath? So it was just more just signing skin or something like that, but nothing too crazy. But you definitely see a couple of signatures. It's like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, the Sharpie on the skin always gets me because it's just like, much like you were saying, like, what are you gonna do? Because are you just gonna go home and like scrub your head and see if it comes off, or are you just gonna let it come off in 3 or 4 showers? I don't know that Sharpie and skin is the way I would.
Right, right, absolutely, absolutely.
And the second question is just like as a kid or an adult growing up, have you ever been denied an autograph by anyone?
I haven't, and I think it was largely because I don't know if I was around too many superstars like that. Being from South Georgia, I mean, you saw the superstars on TV, but I didn't really get around that many famous people per se until I got to college, and then when I turned pro. After that, I guess I was considered one of the superstars. So it was more like, hey, you're around Michael Johnson in track and field, or Emmett Smith, and you see him. So it's like, hey, I know you, conversation. So you're not necessarily thinking that you're kind of sitting next to Emmett Smith,
Yeah.
so get the autograph. So probably if I had a second time to go do it, I might grab one of those autographs for sure. But yes, now I'm thinking about to shed a tear. I probably should have got a couple of autographs of some famous people.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that when you see that person, you're just starstruck, not to the point where you're just like, oh, like shaking and everything, but you're just like so just like engulfed in that moment, like that's Emmett Smith sitting over there, like either on like a professional level or like a fan professional level. You're just like, dang man, that's Emmett Smith right there, and then they walk away and you're like, oh, nice, I just saw Emmett Smith.
Yeah, and I think two of the autographs that I kind of chuckle about. It's not an autograph, but they're famous, obviously, and well known as Adam Wainwright. He's
Yep.
the pitcher. I think he's a closer now, maybe. If I'm not, Adam, I'm sorry. You're starting pitcher in my eyes for Cardinals. And
Yep.
then he was a year ahead of me at Glenn Academy. And I always tell him he sent me into retirement because I could never touch any of his pitches. So I decided very early in my freshman year that I wasn't going to play baseball anymore. So I let him have that. And I went to the track side of it. And then I think we all kind of know relatively of Kwame Brown. He was in my same class. And so #1 draft pick, and I catch up with him every now and then. So those are kind of like two big figures, so to speak, that it's like,
Absolutely.
I guess it would be cool to have that autograph, but I think, you grow up with them, so you know them and countless other ones. So I don't know, maybe I have to go start getting some more autographs for sure.
Yeah, if you do, I'll take credit for it.
There you go.
I'm just kidding, but yeah, I can see how knowing them on a personal level that that little thought never really comes into your mind. I definitely understand that, and I know I have talked to some people where they were like in the major leagues, like, or in the minor leagues, they get caught up and they're like playing against like your Derek Jeters and stuff. They're like, just as one professional to another, you
Right.
don't really ask for autographs as kind of a unwritten rule. Not that you can't, go up from one professional to another, that you can't ask for their autograph, but it's just kind of one of those unwritten rules that you just don't really do it.
Right. And it's also one of those things where I guess sometimes you either blame it on, hey, can I get this autograph from my cousin or my friend? But you kind of secretly want it too as well. And I think, being an alumni at UGA and just being with the Fred Gibsons or the gosh, name any of the running backs, Danny Ware or No Sean Marino,
Yep.
like all these legends that came out. Max, I saw Max Jean not too long ago, and you see these guys, and we're in the same dining hall together. And you're right. I think it would definitely, you would raise eyebrows pretty quickly. Like, I know you're gonna probably go first round, so can I get your autograph right now? It's like, no. So it was more like, well, you're going to the NFL, and I'm trying to go to the Olympics. So I guess we're trying to be superstars, but it's pretty cool to kind of be in those circles and, seeing our brothers and even my sisters and seeing all of them, do well on their respective careers and kind of seeing them come full circle. And
Absolutely.
it's like, man, we aged well, didn't we?
That's a good problem to have.
Right, right. So it's
And
pretty cool.
the third and final question is, and this is my favorite one to ask because it gets the wheels turning, and you also get to kind of find out a little bit about that individual within their answer. And the question is, if you could have just one autograph in the world from any person, whether they're dead or alive, whose autograph would you want?
Well, I was about to go to my first one is Jesus. Let me get Jesus autograph. I wonder how did he sign his. So
That's the OG right there.
OG for real. But if we're talking about just more tangible, gosh, I would have to say probably Denzel Washington. Like I'm a big Denzel Washington fan. The excellence which he pulls into movies and just how he makes the movies and the stories believable. Just to kind of pick up nuggets from him, be like, hey, Denzel, D Low, like I don't know if we on first name basis, but can I have your autograph? So that one probably be pretty cool. So maybe if he sees this, little old LaRon Bennett, maybe we have to, send me a email or something, or mail me his autograph. So Denzel would definitely be #1 for sure.
That's such a good answer. And even though he's an actor and everything, I feel like he's super underrated. I really do. I feel like people don't talk about him enough. And he has been in some absolutely phenomenal movies. And he is a household name. He's very well known. You say Denzel Washington, everybody knows him. But that's such a good answer. And I think it's actually kind of out of the box because I think most people today would be like, oh, Dwayne Johnson or something like that. But I
Right.
love that answer.
Yeah, Denzel, he's my guy. He don't know it yet, but he's definitely my guy for sure.
I'll send if he's got a social or if he's got like a Facebook page or anything. I'll send the link to this in there, and I'll just put like, "Hey, man, do your thing."
Fingers crossed. For sure, for sure.
And you got a book coming out. You just published a book, correct?
I do. It was 3.5 years in the making, and real short story. One of my mentors told me that I need to write a book. He asked me, "Was it like to be on the Olympic circuit and trying to make the Olympic team?" And I told him that's just a mental maze that I don't really want to revisit. And he kept pressing me on it. And then he simply asked, well, what if your kids asked you about it? How would you describe that to them? And I told him, like, you got me on that one. And so, yeah, write a chapter a day and something that you can leave to your kids and my wife. And so what I did was I just started writing, and throughout life and transitions, 3 years later, finally closed on it and had the manuscript in front of me. And it's just amazing to kind of see that come to life, and not just for my little ones, but it was definitely written with the intention of seeing what it's like. And for me, growing up from little LaRon Bud Bennett to, LaRon Senior, the head track coach, the impact person in the community, and ultimately, it gives purpose. And I'm kind of one of those people that I'm trying to help people articulate and define purpose in life. And so I use my story for somebody to read it and then now start getting their wheels turning to, what are they here on earth for? Because I do believe that we're all here on this planet for something specific.
Absolutely.
And that only you can do. And I think once you kind of see within that vein of what you can do and what you do best, then it really unlocks a whole lot of things, and it makes us really unique in that way. So that's the book, Mind of an Olympian. I won't give away the big pun in it, but yeah, 16 straight years. So 4 Olympic cycles trying to make that Olympic team. And obviously we're watching on TV now of those headed to Tokyo. And so it could have been 5 Olympic cycles, but my wife and my 2 little ones looked at me like, "You're trying to go 4 more years?" And I was like, you know what? Happy wife, happy life. So
I can understand that. Yeah, and spend a little extra time with the little ones, I guess.
absolutely, yeah. 5 and 9. Malachi's 9, and Naomi is 5, going on 17 for sure. So a lot of attitude, but I love them, and they motivate me for sure.
I understand that. Give you that purpose you were talking about. People, they see you try to make the Olympic team, you make the semifinalists, and then you've got the bronze and or the bronze and silver medals at the Pan Am Games. But in retrospect, being a parent is much bigger than any of that.
Sure. Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, kids weren't on the scene then, so you're really just you're grinding, and you run into, for at that time, was just to make my city, Brunswick, Georgia, and then my adopted city, Athens, Georgia, make them proud, and to be a good example for those coming behind me. And then, after the second cycle, it was like, okay, now what do we do? And then Malachi's on the scene. So then each time it gave new purpose. And I didn't realize until I really finally sat down that, man, to go 16 straight years was rare air. It's a very small percent of just even today athletes running that long to try to make what essentially amounted to 47 seconds worth of a moment that could change your life. And, 48.74 wasn't quite good enough. So, but to look back, it's a lot of things you can kind of glean from it, with persistence, dedication, passion, purpose, all those things. So hopefully, I think I might have put all that kind of in a small, quick read book that not only my fellow, athletes can attest to, but, those that are outside of the athletic realms, like, okay, so this is what it means when you see, us elite level athletes
Definitely.
basically committing to that high level of a singular purpose. So I'm excited about it for sure.
I was about to say, I've been keeping up with your Facebook page and seeing you post about it or whatever, but just hearing you talk about it, like, I'm already excited about it. Like, I just want to go and read it right now. Like, I'm already motivated.
There you go. But that's the purpose of it, right? I mean, after a conversation or after a read, are you motivated or driven to move another step? And that's what I do even in my coaching world. I want to, in some small part, help you be better than what you were before you met me. And so even with this conversation, this interview, I don't even know if it's an interview. I like to look at it as dialogue or just a chat or anybody that's listening to it. Did I at least say something that kind of got the wheels turning? Like, you know what? Hey, maybe I need to go out and see, what will they say about me when I'm gone? And that's the ultimate purpose. Like, man, yeah,
And
Mr. Ball.
now we got a comment from somebody viewing. Patty, she's a very, very good friend of mine. She supported me in chasing the ground from day one, and you can see right there she's gonna get it and she's gonna read it. So you're already motivating people.
There we go. Thank you, Miss Patty. I definitely appreciate it, and said pass it along, and just I'm in the people business. I just want to help people, and maybe that's too simple in these days and times, but it is what I do, and I do it well, and we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yes, I'm very excited about it because I'm admittedly not a reader,
Mhm.
but I tend to get more excited about things that motivate
Right.
and people pulling from what they have been through and what they dealt with and saying, hey, if this is what I can do and where I can come from and how I can get there, then all you got to do is just put your mind to it. That's the stuff I respond to. And the only book I've ever read cover to cover was like that. It was a little bit of a biography where he came from this, went to that, and finished here. And I read it from cover to cover in like 2 hours. And that I can't wait for your book. I'm already excited about it, man.
And that was the intent. Like, I mean, I grew up. My mom is part of the babysitting. She put me and my siblings in the library, so I had no choice but to read. But I am a storyteller at heart, and so like you see, you'll see even if you go on the website, my first and my last name.com, it has the first chapter or the prelude of the book, and you'll see it reads just like that, to where I'm telling you a story, and it kind of flows into that where it's first person. Then it's kind of like third person. I didn't do too much of the third person, but it really flows in where, okay, now I'm in LaRon's mind. Now I'm as a spectator watching LaRon. And so I think that's what took the book the longest, because you have to write it in such a way that it can flow like that. And so I do think it kind of touched on that. I don't really like to read, so my challenge is to anybody that dares open the first book, give me one chapter, and then let's see if you want to continue to read. And if not, I understand that. Just bless somebody else with it for sure. But I like to bet on myself and say, if you go one chapter, then you might finish the rest of them too.
And she's looking it up right now. So go ahead and throw that website out there again so she can get that little prelude you were talking about.
Sure. Is www.LaRon, LaRon Bennett, BENNETT.com. So my first and last name.com. I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah, I don't think it gets much simpler than that. I think that'll make it easier.
For sure.
Oh, even look at there.
Oh, wow. Thank Miss Patty. You know what? I think you're becoming my new superstar MVP. So I appreciate the support for sure.
Yeah, Patty, she supported me since day one, and she's a follower in Christ as well, and she's
Awesome.
an all around human being. So I think you've gained the fan, and like this interview's already went like 10 times better than I ever could have imagined.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say the books they already are cut to print. So I should be getting the first 250 or so orders within the next few days. And then from there, I'm going to autograph the ones that come through and ship those back out. So hopefully we can get those turned around. I do believe in excellence and being on time with everything. So I told my publisher, I was like, before I go live with these pre-orders, I need a date. And so they promised me on the 28th, 29th. I should have books in hand. And so I'm going to try to get, once I get those in, I'm going to go through the pre-orders, get them turned out, and then get them back to you all and those looking to get them. And so I'm also planning on blessing a few people just to sow some seeds, not just for the monetary piece. And so hopefully Mr. Ball over there will send me his address, and so I can just kind of gift you all one as well. So just
absolutely, because I was already motivated before, and I was already gonna pre-order once we got done with this interview. But as soon as you said autograph, then I mean, you had me right then.
absolutely. So that means I have to send you two then as well. Then you gotta have one for free.
Yeah, absolutely. And between now and the 29th, I'm going to throw the link to your book in everybody's face and just get it any and everywhere I can: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. It's in the description. So if you're watching this later and you want to order the book or pre-order for it, the link to do that is in the description. And you can it'll be a hyperlink. You just click it, it brings it up. It doesn't get any simpler than that. I've already done the homework for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And like I said, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I hope people took something away from it, because we're not just talking about autographs and, your experiences. We're talking about you as a human being, and you taking a step in your life that, it seemed like you were a little reluctant to do. And this is a part of you now. This is your book. Your kids are going to read it. It's going to be out there for years. So I'm absolutely excited, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Absolutely. Anytime. And whatever I can do to, help. And like I said, I think we need that in these days and times to it's all about relationship. And so if we can always just be in a space to be willing to understand somebody's story. Story Brand book is one of my favorite books, and it talks about the hero of the story. And it just trying to see everybody's story, because when you take the time to hear somebody's story, then you understand their why, and then it kind of explains a lot of things about how and what you see. And so I look at myself as kind of a facilitator of that. And so here we are, we're going for it, and we're out there now. So my temperament is one kind of behind the scenes, but I'm also confident being in the big lights. And so I guess no hiding now, right?
No hiding now. Yeah, yeah. And if you look right here, Patty's going to promote it for you as well. I mean, Patty's just spreading all the love.
She is rocking it.
Already got the order in too.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm humbly honored.
Absolutely, man. So that's going to do it for this episode of Grad Talk. Thanks to my man LaRon for sitting down and talking to me. I was reading one of Patty's comments and got distracted. But so much, man, for sitting down and talk with me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Houston, brother, I definitely appreciate you. And like I say, anything I can do, you may turn around. Anytime I can get back to Georgia, because I'm in Mississippi now, but I definitely drive through Georgia every now and then. Have to come check y'all out in person for sure.
Absolutely, man. We'll meet up, and we'll do the whole face-to-face thing. I'd be honored, man. I really would.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, until next time, I guess.
Absolutely. Everybody stay safe and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.